Hello everyone. I just want to start this video out by saying that I originally intended to have it out before I hit 100 subscribers. But unfortunately that did not happen, and right now as I'm recording this, I'm sitting at 117 subscribers. So I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all, not just for the sub, the view, or the comments, but I really do enjoy all the feedback from everybody enjoying my content. So I really hope you enjoyed this video and all the other future content I put out. So let's now get to the sales. Okay, everyone, so here at this sale, there was a lot of random things just laid about. In trash bags, there was a lot of clothes. I picked up these two unopened webcams, which I believe were meant to be used during pandemic conferences, but were never used. So the nice ladies ended up wanting only 5 apiece for each of these webcams. And stick around for the very end of my video where I'll list the comp on one of those webcams that did eventually sell. And up next, you'll see their nice selection of camping equipment. I don't do a lot of camping myself, but there was one item that I knew I could put to good use. And I pick it up right here. It's an unopened medical kit, which I decided for the dollar they were asking for it was a pretty good deal, considering I don't have a medical kit for my vehicle. So I threw that in the deal as well. And with the two $5 webcams, I paid a whole $11 at this sale. Okay, everybody. So here at this sale, I originally intended to ask about this nice little karaoke machine you see in the bottom. But on closer inspection, I realized it was a lot dirtier than it looked in the footage. There were no microphones with it either, so I decided to pass on it. But there were still 2 other surprises at this sale. So you'll see one of them shortly here, even though you don't see me pick it up in the footage. Because they had a nice lot of old electronics. Here's had some old VHS in a box, which I passed on. But here on the table right there, you'll see a DVD VHS combo, which I did pick up. I want to say for like $10, but it's always a gamble with those things. I don't like to spend more than $10 on them because usually one of the 2 functions, either the VHS or the DVD, do not work. And here we have a special guest, see my dad in the footage. My parents were visiting me this weekend, so it was great going out garage selling with them. And shortly, you'll see my mom in the footage as I go check out that brown box right there, which has the next big surprise at this garage sale. There was just so much varied items at this sale. There's the kind of garage sales, estate sales that I liked because there's just so much to look through that you have to go around more than once to make sure you're not missing something. So even though we're frantically looking for that certain item we are looking for or craving for, we find something else. There's my mom right there. And you'll see me here picking up what I found in that brown box, a nice slim PlayStation 2 with a nice red memory card. And there were all its cables tangled up with a lot of other cables. So I did pick it up with 2 controllers and its AV and power cable, plus a few other random cables for $20. And even though I did power it up at this garage sale, by the time I got home, I realized it did not read discs. Even after cleaning what I could on the laser, without actually taking this console apart, it still would not play discs. But even in that condition, so with the red memory card and the 2 controllers, I should still be able to make double, if not triple, what I paid on it. Hey everybody, so here I am, one of the 2 estate sales I went to this day. In the child's room, I made 2 little pickups here, and while I thought they were nice finds at the time, I'll go over at the end of the video why they turn out to be a little questionable. So here I am picking up the E.T. board game from the early 80s, Parker Brothers, and Kenner's remote-controlled R2-D2 from the late 70s in its box. So we're going to go over these 2 finds later in the video. We're going to jump right back into the next estate sale. Hi everybody, so here we are at this second estate sale for this day. I'm in one of the back rooms of a pretty nice old house. There was such a vast assortment of things. Fortunately, none of these VHS were sealed, or I probably would have checked out a few of them. But in this room, I definitely realized They might have had a young girl or girls grow up in this house because there were a lot of dolls and stuff. That doesn't mean there isn't money to be found, especially in particular unique items. You'll see me looking through the plush here and pick up one of the most interesting plush lines I don't rarely see. This little yellow bear with wings from the Wuzzles line from the 80s. I decided to pick on up, even though it had a little bit of damage, as you see here with its little antenna, which were supposed to be flowers, but it was in pretty clean condition. None of the items in the sale were labeled, so I decided to hold on to it until I know how much they were asking for it. Also in this dresser, I found, you'll see my next pickup, after I make sure there's no other neat, interesting plushes, this vintage Barbie lunchbox, complete with the thermos. And one other item you'll see me pick up is another popular plush line from the 80s, an original Pound Puppy, which still had its collar, even though there were a few little minor holes in it. They're still gonna do really well, I think, in resale. So there you see it right there. Okay, everybody, so here's the amazing find at this charity garage sale. First, I found Smash Brothers Melee in this box, and then I started looking through it and came across just more and more games with amazing prices on them. So I ended up finding some more Wii games, a Wii U game, and amazingly enough, a original Nintendo game, Super Mario World 3, a nice little Nintendo case, and that does say 75 cents on the game, so I could not pass up these amazing deals, no matter what condition they were in. You'll see me here pick up the other games I did find. So each one of them had about $1 on each of them. You'll see here, Wii Resort, and I think there was Guitar Hero and another game, which I'll go over near the end. So I did find another nice big item at this sale, not game related, but I will go over it. And I did pay up on the bigger item because I wanted to donate to this wonderful charity that was putting together food for the needy. So here are some of the great finds I picked out in the last few weeks. The first thing I want to talk about is this stack of anime and manga that I picked up at a really nice sale that I wish I had gotten recorded, but I went to it at kind of the last minute. But there was a guy who had a shed/warehouse full of items that he's picked up at storage units. And he had shelves and shelves of anime, manga, DVDs, and CDs. So I started pulling all of the series that I recognized. Here we have the Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, Hellsing, Fullmetal Jacket, and One Piece. So no sooner that I started making my stack and taking it to the checkout to go back for more than someone had bought all the rest of the manga. So keep an eye out on big item collections that you want to buy and try to take it all at the same time, because my stack was a little bit taller, but I had been consistently selling these books, so it was a pretty good deal at 50 cents a book and $1 per anime DVD. So next up, here are the items picked up at those estate sales you saw. So at the estate sale, I picked up the Barbie lunchbox with thermos. I did find the Pound Puppy with a slightly damaged paw here, but it does have its original collar, which I've never really seen before on one of these things. So I think it should still do pretty well online. And here we have the Wuzzle, slightly bent antenna, but I think it still do pretty well. It's pretty clean. Also did find 2 electronics at that estate sale. Here we have a pronouncing dictionary and thesaurus. Works pretty well with batteries, but I couldn't find his AC adapter. And here we have a handheld GPS, this Magellan Sport Track map. It powers on and has all of its cables and manuals. So this was one of the nicest estate sales I like to find, where everything was relatively cheap. They're just trying to clear out the house, and I spent about $9 on these 5 items. We can compare that to the estate sales where there is some sentimental value with the items and some people have a hard time getting rid of them, which means the prices are a little high. So here we have the R2-D2 and the ET board game that I picked up. We'll start with the ET board game. So I picked this up for about $3. It was sealed at the a sale, but I wish I had opened it because although it does have a little weight to it, all the pieces other than the board are in the box. So I just got the board, unfortunately. Now the R2-D2 didn't have any paperwork or manuals with it, but it is still pretty clean in my opinion. Here it is right here. Still has this nice chrome top, considering it's over 50 or 40 years old. So the guy who sold it to me, it was his most cherished childhood item. He was a little hesitant to sell it, but I thought it would be a nice investment. He told me it probably wouldn't work, given that he hadn't actually played with it in many years. But I thought it would worth taking a chance, considering it did have the remote control, the antenna, and he said it only needed a little bit of work on the battery compartment. But not until I brought it home did I realize that there were 2 battery compartments to this thing technically, and one of them was worse off than the one that I had saw at the sale. So I think it's still going to make a pretty nice shelf piece in the long run. So we're going from one questionable deal to a really great deal. Here are the games I picked up at that charity. So here we have Super Mario Bros. 3 in a rather yellowed Nintendo case, but still for 75 cents, I wasn't going to say no. We have Wii Sport Resort, not in the best condition case-wise, but the game and manual are in there. We use Guitar Hero Live, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and of course, Super Mario Bros. Melee. Great prices on these games. So next up, I wanted to go over a deal I got on these items back here. I decided not to post the footage of this pickup just because the nice, very nice lady who let me come to her garage sale before everybody else was a little hesitant to get rid of all these items as well. So I did pay up on these items just like I did the R2-D2, but I'm still really happy with these finds. So let me get this ready over here. We're gonna start with the Super Nintendo stack. I don't have a Super Scope, but now I have the game for it. Here we have the Super Scope 6. Now this is unfortunately not the rare version of Yoshi's Island with the not for resale emblem on it, but it's still a really nice game to find in pretty good condition. Mega Man X. Now I have fond memories of playing this game on the N64, and the original one looks just as kooky and crazy as that one. Clay Fighter Tournament Edition. Here we have the original Mortal Kombat, Mario Paint. Now I think this is Super R-Type. Interesting little, I think a space game. I haven't tried that one out yet. And we got another copy of Super Mario World. Really nice shape too. And next up here we have N64's Killer Instinct Gold. You can see that in frame. Bomberman Generations on the GameCube. And a nice Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. That's complete in there. And here's some of the anime I picked up. We have Chobits. I think this is disc 2. Disc 1. A couple of Hamtaros. And a One Piece fan. I'm not too familiar with One Piece, but I'll let those in the comments let me know which movie this is. I think there's a few of them. So I was still super happy, even though I did pay up on all these items. And I left that sale thinking I made a new friend. And here's hoping we can do business in the future. So shout out to her. So there you have it, everybody. I want to send thanks again to all my subscribers that got me over the 100 mark. And I'm looking forward to hitting the 500 and eventually the 1,000 mark. So stay tuned. I'm going to have some comps of everything that has been selling from my store. I'll definitely put a link down below. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching.